You just bought a piece of rural land. Now what? Well, if you want to actually use that property, the first thing you need to think about is how you're going to get to it. Hey, welcome back to the Land Buyer's Guide. I'm Scott Thomas, owner of landparker.com, where we help everyday people get onto rural land with affordable owner financing, sometimes as low as $100 down and $100 a month. Today we're talking about driveways. And I know that sounds kind of unglamorous, but stick with me here because this is one of those things that can make or break your whole property experience. So let's get into it. Here's what a lot of people don't realize. A driveway isn't just a nice to have on a rural property, it's your lifeline. It's how your supplies get in. It's how emergency vehicles reach you if something goes wrong. It's how you haul in equipment, get deliveries, and just live your life out there. A bad driveway, or no driveway, can turn your dream property into a total headache real fast. I've talked to a lot of land buyers over the years, and one of the most common regrets I hear is, I didn't think about access soon enough. So let's make sure that's not you. All right, step one. Before anything else, you need to plan your route. And I mean really plan it. Don't just walk out there and eyeball it. Spend some time on the property. Walk the whole thing. Watch how water moves across it, especially after rain. That's going to tell you a lot. You want to avoid low spots where water collects. A driveway built through a drainage path is going to wash out, guaranteed. Try to follow the natural contours of the land instead. That reduces how much grading you need to do, which saves money. You also want a gentle slope. Somewhere between 1 and 5% grade is ideal. That's enough for water to run off the surface, but not so steep that it starts eating away at your gravel every time it rains. And if you're planning to haul anything, a trailer, farm equipment, a big delivery truck, you need to think about your turns, wide, gradual curves, not tight hairpin turns that a loaded trailer can't navigate. One more thing on planning. Check your local setback requirements before you finalize your route. Some counties have rules about how close a driveway can be to a property line. And always call 811 before you dig. That's the National Dig Safe line here in the US. It's free, it's easy, and it keeps you from hitting a buried utility line. Don't skip that step. Okay, step 2 is clearing and grading. Once you know where your driveway is going, you've got to prepare the ground. That means clearing out all the vegetation, removing stumps, and grading the surface so it drains properly. Now, for most people on a rural property, you're going to want to hire an excavator or at least rent the right equipment for this phase. Proper grading really is the foundation of everything. A driveway that doesn't drain will fail. It doesn't matter what you put on top of it. You want to excavate down 8 to 12 inches to get past all the organic material and reach stable subgrade soil. Then you grade it with a slight crown, meaning the center is just a little higher than the edges, so water naturally sheds off both sides. And wherever your driveway crosses a ditch or natural drainage channel, you need to install a culvert pipe. Don't bury that drainage because the water has to go somewhere. And if you block it, it'll go through your driveway instead of under it. Now we get to step 3, which is the base layer. And honestly, this is where a lot of people cut corners, and then they pay for it later. A good driveway base is what separates something that lasts 20 years from something that's a muddy mess by spring. If your soil is soft, silty, or tends to shift around, start with a layer of geotextile fabric. It's not expensive, and it acts as a barrier between your native soil and the gravel you're putting on top. It keeps them from mixing together over time, which is how you lose your base material into the ground. Then you add crushed stone, your road base aggregate, typically 4 to 6 inches of compacted material. You want angular, jagged stone here, not rounded river rock. Angular stone locks together when it compacts. Common types are number 57 or 21A crushed stone, depending on your region. Add it in layers, 3 to 4 inches at a time, and compact each layer before you add the next. If your ground is especially wet or soft, go 8 to 10 inches deep on that base. It's worth it. Step 4 is choosing your surface material, and you've got some options here. Gravel is the most common choice for rural driveways, and honestly, it makes a lot of sense. It's affordable, usually $1 to $3 per square foot. It drains well, and you can add more as needed over the years. The downside is that it does require occasional regrading and top dressing, especially after winter or a heavy rain season. Asphalt is another option. It's smoother, more durable, and holds up well in cold climates. You're looking at $3 to $5 a square foot, and you'll need to seal it every few years to prevent cracking. But it's a solid middle ground between gravel and concrete. Concrete is the most durable option. We're talking 30 years or more. But it runs $6 to $12 per square foot. So for a long rural driveway, it's usually just not practical. Some people use it for a short stretch near the house or garage, which makes sense. And then there's recycled asphalt millings. This one's a real favorite in the homesteading crowd. It's cheaper than fresh gravel in a lot of areas. It compacts really well, sheds water nicely, and over time, especially in warmer climates, it actually starts to bind together and form almost a semi-solid surface. Worth asking about in your area. Step 5 is drainage features. And the thing is, we've been talking about drainage this whole time because it really is that important. Bad drainage is the number one reason driveways fail. Period. So beyond just grading and culverts, there are a few other things to think about. Side ditches, shallow ditches, cut along both sides of the driveway, help channel water away from the surface. On a longer driveway with significant slope, you also want to think about water bars or rolling dips. These are basically angled interruptions built into the driveway surface that redirect runoff off to the side before it can build up speed and cause erosion. The longer and steeper the driveway, the more important these become. All right, let me give you some practical takeaways before we wrap up. If you're on a tight budget, and a lot of rural land buyers are, especially starting out, don't stress about having a perfect driveway on day one. A well-graded gravel driveway with good drainage will serve you reliably for years. You can always upgrade it later. Start simple, do it right, and build from there. If your driveway is going to be long and one lane, think about adding a turnout or two, basically a wider spot where vehicles can pull off and let another car pass. Sounds minor until you've got a delivery truck and your truck trying to figure out who's backing up first. Also, design for your heaviest load. Think about the biggest vehicle that will ever use your driveway. A concrete truck, a heavy equipment trailer, a hay delivery, and make sure the driveway can handle it. Fixing a driveway that's been damaged by a heavy load is way more expensive than building it right the first time. Maintain it every year, every spring. Go out there, fill in potholes, clear out your culverts, top dress with gravel where it's thinned out. Driveways that get a little attention every year last a really long time. Driveways that get ignored tend to fall apart fast. And when you're getting quotes from contractors, get at least 3. Prices vary a lot by region. Ask for a detailed scope of work from each one, so you're actually comparing apples to apples. Also, look for local quarries or gravel pits in your area. Buying direct can save you a significant amount compared to going through a general contractor who marks everything up. So that's the whole picture. Plan your route, clear and grade properly. Build a solid base. Choose the right surface for your budget and climate, and get your drainage right. Do those 5 things and you'll have a driveway you can count on for decades. Access is everything on rural land. Once you have reliable access, the whole property opens up for you. Thanks for spending some time with me today. If you're looking for rural land with owner financing, properties where you can actually start building something without needing a bank loan or perfect credit, head over to landparker.com. We've got properties available around the country and we make it simple and affordable to get started. You can check out everything we have at landparker.com. We'll catch you on the next one.